Hello, citizens of Gotham. My name is Graham Elwood. You're watching the Bitcoin Vigilante. I know I haven't done a show in a while. I've been traveling. I know I said I wasn't going to be talking much news anymore. I'm going to do some comedy stuff, but wow. Holly Horn is our moderator, as Alex Das Levy. Good to see everybody in the chat. I don't even know how to put into words all the emotions I have right now. Yeah, I'm a little scared. I'll be very honest with you. I had a sinking feeling. You know, I heard about this Saturday when it happened and was kind of like, oh, wow. And Sunday, I just kind of like, I went on a bike ride. I went to the movies. I was just like, I didn't even know how to process it. And then today, I'm like, all right, I'm going to just see what's going on and really pay attention to what's happening. And it's crazy. As Holly says in the chat, this is the people's channel. It's amazing. So, like, share, subscribe, everybody. Do all those things. You can do a super chat. I'll answer your question. That's if you want to donate Bitcoin on chain right there. There's also the Patreon channel. The Laughs Around the World is the first 3 episodes of Laughs Around the World. This travel series that I made last year is all edited and done, and all 3 episodes are on Patreon and on Rockfin Premium. So you can join for as little as, I think, $3 a month on Patreon and watch. So there's more comedy clips and stuff like that. But there's 3 episodes. They're about 15, 20 minutes each episode, and they were a lot of fun to make. And I'm going to be doing more of that. But I really, yeah, I don't even know how to put this into words. I don't even know how to articulate everything that's happening. So let's talk about it from a Bitcoin perspective. And what this is gonna, what the possible outcomes here. So we struck them, or the U.S., not we. I'm not a part of this. United States, of which I am a forced to participate in citizen. I have to pay taxes, and I vote, and I have to live in a America, which is a gulag casino. It is a capitalist death camp. Laugh to keep from crying. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And I was looking and watching videos. I'm in Asia right now. It's nighttime here. So I've been watching videos all day. It's Monday evening, our time. I know it's Monday morning in the States. It's a little after 8 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, a little after 5 a.m. on the West Coast. Probably don't have a lot of West Coast viewers right now. But this is, yeah, I'll get this first segment queued up and we'll go from there. I don't know how else to process this. I really don't know how else to process this. So, okay, there's our. So the first segment is gonna be what's happening in Iran through sort of a Bitcoin lens, but yeah, I don't. Okay. So all right, I'm going to be back with my first hot fresh segment, guys, and then we will end the show today with some comedy skits, because I don't know how else to process this as a comedian. I don't know how else to process this. I feel a sinking feeling in my stomach, to be quite honest. So let's all right, I'll be back with our first hot fresh segment. And anyone watching on Rockfin, hello. And watching on Bitcoin Hollywood, hello. That's the one. We want that. All right, let's make sure I got this going on right here. Okay. Good. Let's move. All right, we got all the feedback things taken care of. Bam, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Sorry, getting everything. I'm a little bit rusty. No, we don't want that. We want this. Okay. All right, guys, I'll be right back with our first hot fresh segment. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe button, do a super chat. I'll answer your question during the live thing. And then of course we'll clip this out and segment it out. So I'll be right back. Everybody, U.S. and Israel bomb Iran. Iran retaliates. What does that mean globally? What does that mean for us Americans? What does that mean for anybody living in the Middle East? What does that mean for anybody living on planet Earth? And what does it mean for the price of Bitcoin? The price of Bitcoin has dropped, but I'm going to show you how it's actually being set up for a huge, massive bull run. Do I sound crazy? No, I don't. I might sound crazy, but the information will back up everything I'm going to tell you. My name is Graham Elwood. You're watching the Bitcoin Vigilante, formerly the Political Vigilante. I'll be the Political Vigilante always in my heart. Thank you for watching this. It is Monday morning. 2 days ago, the U.S. and Israel conducted airstrikes against Iran, and then Iran retaliated, and both sides are claiming that their own casualties weren't as bad. So far, we've got 3 U.S. service members are confirmed dead. There might be more. We don't know. I don't trust any of the media outlets and the Pentagon to give us accurate information about anything. But the real reason we're doing this, well, it's obviously first and foremost, there's always oil. There's always got to get oil, and we got to control the Strait of Hormuz that I call the false flag highway. And this is another Epstein distraction. And I know there's some Iranians that are happy that the Khomeini is dead. And yeah, probably wasn't that great of a guy, but we're not there trying to free the Iranian people from enslavement. We don't care. The United States does not care at all. It does not care. And Trump ran on an anti-interventionist campaign, and he's gone against his word. He lied. That's what he ran on. That's what he was running on. He ran on it in 2016. He ran on it in 2020, a little bit, not as much in 2020, because he'd already committed some war. He'd already done some war in his first term. And he ran on it in 2024 for sure. So this is a segment from a show, Simply Bitcoin, that I watch. Simply Bitcoin's a very good YouTube channel if you want just pure Bitcoin information, but they were putting in the politics of all this. And it makes a lot of sense. And it also backs up some stuff that I've been saying on this show of why I believe Bitcoin, and now more than ever, is something you're going to want to own. And I know you might be going, oh, Graham, the price was at 120 and now it's at 66, 65. I don't know. Well, yeah, that's a 45% pullback. You know what other company had a 45% pullback? Apple. Apple had a 45% pullback, and it was there for several years. This was when the iPhone had already been out. This thing that changed the world, and they had a 45% pullback in like 2010 or something like that, and it lasted for a while. But here's the points that were made on Simply Bitcoin. Again, this is a really good show that I encourage you to watch as well if you want to get more information.
Ali Khamenei, and Iran responded by blocking the Strait of Hormuz, which controls 20% of all global oil, and markets have already begun to crash. Oil rose 10% on the news, with some predicting that a barrel of oil could reach $100 next week. And Bitcoin, it dropped 3K in minutes, going from 66K to 63K, just like that. And that's exactly what they want you staring at. Because while everyone was watching the red candle price in dollars, another chart was going vertical. In Iran, Bitcoin didn't crash, it exploded. As people fled their collapsing currency, Bitcoin price in the Iranian rial went parabolic. And that's when it hits you. What is gold worth if you can't cross the border with it? What is wealth if you can't move it when the world?
So I'm going to jump in and talk about what he just said. Did you hear that? Okay, so the Bitcoin price against dollars has gone down, but the Bitcoin price against the Iranian currency just went up. Because this is the thing. People say, oh, put your money in gold and everything. Okay, but you can't take gold and get across the border with it. You can't take a bunch of bars of gold and take it across the border. You can't send gold to family members who don't have any money. Think about this. If you're Iranian, you're Persian, and you're living in the United States, and you have family back in Tehran, and now you're getting bombed, and you can't leave the country, and this, that, and the other thing, and there's no money. Well, the price of Bitcoin against the real has gone up. You could send your family Bitcoin to survive this. This is the thing I've been talking about. This is the thing why I have been such a proponent of it, because I've been worried about these crazy false flag regime change wars and what it's going to do to the dollar. There's a lot of things that are going to come out of this that I don't think are going to be good. Iran is part of BRICS. That means Russia and China are their allies. If Iran shuts down the Strait of Hormuz, that means China can't get most of its oil. Let me show you.
Catches fire. Time and time again, war doesn't just test markets, it tests money. And right now, the wrong story is dominating your feed. Today, I'm going to show you why this geopolitical chaos is distraction, why major banks are quietly positioning themselves to allow tens of trillions of dollars to flow into Bitcoin, why this time period feels eerily similar to 2017, and why 500K Bitcoin isn't just hype, it's math. This is Dante Coco Bitcoin Simply. Let's go. That's not a movie. That's the Skylight oil tanker in the middle of the Strait of Hormuz, the main trade artery that moves 1/5 of the world's oil supply. 17 million barrels a day just got put at risk. Japan, India, China, well, they don't get to stay neutral anymore. They're now included into this fight as well. Here's why.
If Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz, what impact will it have on the entire world, and which country will be affected the most? First, let's understand what the Strait of Hormuz actually is. It is a small area, just 33 kilometers, located between Iran, Oman, and the UAE. It is a narrow sea passage through which almost 20% of the world's oil supply flows, nearly 17 million barrels every day. This oil comes from 8 countries located in the Persian Gulf, including Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. For the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar, 90% of their oil exports pass through this narrow route to reach the rest of the world. If Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz, following countries will suffer the most damage. First is India, because it imports 85% of its oil, and 60% of that comes from Middle Eastern countries like Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the UAE. Fuel prices in India would skyrocket, and as a result, everything related to oil and all industries would face severe disruption. Industries could shut down, there would be job losses, and the economy would be severely affected. The second most affected country would be China. China is the world's largest oil importer, bringing in 10 million barrels of oil every day. 40% of China's oil imports pass through this Strait of Hormuz. Although China has built oil pipelines with Russia and Central Asia, they don't even fulfill 20% of its energy needs. So, if the Strait of Hormuz is blocked, China's economy could suffer a massive blow. And if China's economy is shaken, its effects will be felt all over the world.
And this is why markets seize. This will dominate every headline this week. And ultimately, I believe it's going to crush risk assets, even Bitcoin. This will continue the narrative of Bitcoin weakness. But this is exactly the time when this setup happens. Let me take you back to 2017, because I've been around long enough where I've seen this movie before. Bitcoin hits 1,000 and everyone calls the top. But then...
So what he's talking about is a thing I've talked about a lot on this show as well, which is we have one of these big black swan events, which this going to war with Iran is one of them. And 20% of the world's oil supply goes through the Strait of Hormuz. And if India isn't getting oil, and then more importantly, if China isn't getting the majority of its oil, that means economies crash. And what I've always said is when all the economies crash, Bitcoin will crash with it initially, and then all of the money, the fiat will go, where do we put this? How do we transact global money all over the world if the fiat isn't working? If the dollar isn't working, if everybody's economy is tanking, it'll all flow into Bitcoin. That's what happened in 2020. Bitcoin was trading at about 8,000 or 9,000. COVID hit. Bitcoin dropped to like under $4,000 a coin, 3,500, 3,600. That was March of 2020. By like June, it was at 10K. By September, it was at 20K. So what he's saying is the thing I'm telling right now. Bitcoin's about 65, 66K. The global economy's crashed. Bitcoin could drop hard down to 40K, 35. And then slowly it'll start coming up. And when nothing else is around, no one can put their money in anything else, then it'll go to 1, 200, 250, 3. It could be at 500K by the summer. If this war escalates, which it looks like it's going to, Russia and China are allies with Iran. And Iran is probably smart enough to go, well, we're shutting down the Strait of Hormuz because A, it hurts all of these countries, including the United States. But then China is going to go, we need that oil. And then China's going to get involved somehow. And this is when, who knows? This is when I wouldn't want a lot of cash in a bank account. This is when there's a run on the banks. This is when a lot of crazy things could start happening. So this is why I've always told you, buy some Bitcoin, get it off the exchanges, put it in a cold wallet. Because this is coming. This war that didn't go to Congress for, we're just letting Israel dictate where we bomb places. And no, that's not anti-Semitic to say that. The United States gets, we fund Israel. And AIPAC, a big lobby group, just like the super PACs, just like Big tech has a lobby group. Big oil has a lobby group. You know, like they're doing the same thing, and they buy politicians in both parties. So this is, you know, I would buy some Bitcoin now, or just sit back and hang on, because the Bitcoin price could drop even more and you'd want to have a little cash ready to buy it. But whether you buy it at 60 or 40 or whatever, eventually it's going to become the world's reserve currency, and then it's going to skyrocket. So follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth, everybody. And we are in wild, wild times. Stay safe, be ready, especially in the US, because get ready for just any sort of crazy terror attack. Random stuff is going to start happening in the US. So I'm a little nervous, I'll be honest with you. I've had a sinking feeling all day. After really thinking about this today, I was like, and I went to this local coffee shop. I use it like a co-working space sometimes. And the woman there, I've been going there for several months. She's really nice. We talk, and she brought this up, and she was, you know, she's Thai, and she goes, man, she speaks very good English. And she said, I think, you know, she said, if you hit someone, they're going to hit back. Of course, Iran is going to retaliate. Did you think they weren't? And then Trump's like, you killed some of our soldiers. There's a heavy price to pay. And Iran's like, well, you started this. We're going to keep this going, you know, and it's just like, this is going to escalate. And I'm watching CNN, and they're like, oh, all the Arab countries are lining up against Iran. No. Watch Al Jazeera. CNN and Fox are basically saying the same things. And this is always what happens when America goes to war. It's like the war machine, how quickly every CNN, Fox, MSNBC quickly becomes state-run media. And they're just pushing out State Department talking points. And they're painting Iran as this scared little crazy country that's, you know, and that's not what's happening. They're backed by Russia and China. So this is, and this woman at the coffee shop, she goes, I hope, you know, people could just go, you know, she goes, there's Americans in every country in the world. They might not be safe. And she said to me, just be safe out there today. She said that to me. And she wasn't being threatening or anything. She's a very nice person, but she was like, and I was like, God, she's right. There's protests in front of American embassies all over the world. So if you're living or traveling abroad, pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to people asking you who you are and where you're from. Pay attention. Because once again, our dumb government is being reckless at the behest of a foreign power. And you can go on opensecrets.org, you can go to APAC Tracker and see where, like any lobby group, you can see where they spend their money. Just like you can see where the defense industry spends their money, the defense industry, pharmaceutical companies, big tech, they spend it pretty evenly across both parties, just always to hedge their bets, who's ever in power, whoever they think is going to be in power. Kamala's received $9 million from APAC. Trump's received like 10 or so. Joe Biden, I think, is 12 million. I don't like the government of Israel. That does not make me anti-Semitic. That means I don't like a government and its policies. A poll that came out in December, 61% of American Jews are against what Israel is doing. Holocaust survivors like Gabor Mate are against what Israel is doing. And they control the U.S. government. And that's not a paranoid thing. That's where the dollars follow the money. Just like the military-industrial complex controls this country, for sure. They spend a lot of money. They spend lobby money and they get it back tenfold because the military budget has gone up every year since 2001. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Don't listen to me. Go to opensecrets.org, a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that tracks donations. The FEC, Federal Election Commission, any donation 2,000 and up, you have to declare it. Like if I made a $5,000 donation to a candidate, you would see Bitcoin Vigilante Super PAC, you know? And the CIA controls the military industrial complex. Somebody said, you're one of the few people who can talk about money without boring me into a stupor. Thank you. I take that as a compliment. Like, share, subscribe, everybody. Support our show. I'm trying to bring joy and happiness to the world in the best way I can. One way is by doing a late night talk show here in Bangkok, Thailand. So we're getting the money together. We've got some investors interested. So you can also be a part of it too and support, you know, just the costs we need for this pilot episode and, you know, getting contracts written up and stuff like that. So you just go to grahamelwood.com, go there right now. There's a GoFundMe link. You can donate as little as, I think, $5, $10. Every little bit helps. And we're going to be bringing, you know, we're going to bridge the East and the West. We're going to show all these cool performers and musicians and entertainers here in Thailand and throughout Asia and Western performers as well. It's going to be really cool. So go to grahamelwood.com and then, of course, go to, well, here's opensecrets.org, that right there. And then go to grahamelwood.com and just throw a little money in to this GoFundMe because we need some fun and we need some joy. We need to make a late night talk show that isn't under the censorship constraints of the big media corporations, the big media outlets who dictate everything. So, thanks. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth, and shave your knuckles for justice. Oh, great comments in the chat, everybody. If money's tight and you're debating whether to do like a super chat or Patreon or GoFundMe, I would say right now, do the GoFundMe. Go to grahamelwood.com right now. Click the link to the GoFundMe. It's called the Hollywood Asia Tonight late night talk show. And we've already got cool name acts. We're going to shoot it the end of April. I was literally looking at studio space on Friday. So we've already got some good options. I'm going to see as much studio space as I can, see what we got and go from there. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So yeah, support what we're doing. I can only open secrets in Brave, not on Google. Of course. Well, that's weird. Google doesn't want you to know the truth about who funds our government? What? I think that I don't believe you. Google's the good guys. Don't be so mad at Google. That's good water. Yeah. I'm excited that you guys are here and we're having a show. I'll be very honest with you. I haven't done the show in a while because I've been traveling, and I also I just want to do more comedy stuff, but I was like, God, I got to talk about this. But it's just hard. It just wears on me to talk about this stuff and Epstein. I'm really happy that all of these people are finally like talking about the Epstein stuff that I started talking about 7 years ago, 2019, 7 years ago. And back then there was like a half a dozen of us talking about, like Sean Atwood, Whitney Webb, me, a couple of others. That was it. And we were all looked at as crackpots. And now all those videos I made 6, 7 years ago on my Epstein playlist, it's all stuff I talked about back then, how Trump was tied into it, the Clintons, all the banks, JP Morgan Chase were all tied into it. Like I did all this stuff. And several people have asked me, like, do you feel kind of vindicated? And I go, yeah, I do, because I was called crazy. Everyone thought I was a nutcase, like, oh, Graham, Mr. Connecting the Dots. And it's like, oh, now everyone is connecting the dots. Now everyone is seeing that the ruling elites they're evil. And the Clintons and the Trumps they're the same. They're the same. And it's hard. And like all of us on the progressive left are like, oh man, they're going to try to invade Iran. Where, I mean, everyone, showing that Wesley Clark video from 2007, where he's like, yep, it's Iraq, it's Afghanistan, we're going to go off these countries. And it keeps happening. And there's no one coming to save us. There's no Bernie, there's no JFK riding in on a white horse. There's no one coming to save us. Kamala would have bombed Iran too. And she would have just, instead of like, we're making America safe, she would have been like, we've got to free the women. She would have made it a feminist issue. We got to bomb Iran for the girls. And you would have seen liberal feminists going, yeah, bomb him. Like it's crazy. Let me show you this. Let me show you Van Jones. God, so bad. All right. All right, I'll do another segment. I'll be back with another hot, fresh segment. You really want to see who the Democrats are and the so-called liberal media is. Bomb a country. That's when you see them line up. This happened when Trump was president the first time, and he bombed Syria in April of 2017. And Fareed Zakaria in 2017 was like, Trump became president today. And all these liberals were like, we need war. Well, it's the same. It's the propaganda machine. It's the thing I've talked about for years on this show. It's why I'm an independent. It's why I won't vote for either party. It's why I didn't vote for Harris or Trump. Because if Harris was president, we would still be bombing Iran. And there wouldn't be any of this talking about Epstein, because she wouldn't have run on that. She would say, we're looking into it, and maybe we'd just give some little fluffy thing. Trump, because he's an egomaniac and can't keep his stupid coked up mouth shut, ran this campaign, and he got a lot of people to vote for him on no more war and Epstein. We're going to release the files. Those two things he has clearly not done. And he's losing his he's losing his base. He's losing his base. But leave it to the good old liberal Democrats, the centrist liberals, to the rescue to kind of justify why we need war. This is why don't tell me the Democrats are better. Is Trump a fascist? Absolutely. Is what he's doing with ICE awful? Absolutely. What he's doing with ICE is awful. You know who built the cages at the border? That was Obama. Like I'm just a broken record, and liberals don't want to listen to this. Liberals they turn a blind eye to all the awful stuff the Democrats do, in the same way that the crazy, the sort of cult wing of MAGA that's just like, Trump never lies. But even some of those folks are like, wait a minute. But here's Van Jones talking about why we need to free Iran. What he's saying is we need war. We need this war. This is good for liberals in your little coffee shops in Austin, Texas. And it's good for you.
If you like peace, and if you like democracy, and if you like women being free, like innovation, unleash these Persians. Well, I mean, I think what's happening in Iran may be the most important thing happening in the world. You're going to unleash 90 million people who come from one of the most creative, imaginative, and regal cultures in the history of the world, which could help all of humanity tomorrow instantly. It's worth the fight to get them free. A lot of stuff you've been dealing with today, they invented. And so they just had a lid on their head for half of a century. And so I think a freed up Persian culture can be incredible for technology, can be incredible for humanity, can be incredible for the arts. It could be the end of a lot of BS in the region. You need a free Iranian people. You need the Persians back on the map for this century to work out well. People don't even know how good it's going to feel to have a world where the Iranian people are allowed to actually do what they've always done, which is to contribute to world culture. Like we don't even know what we're missing. When we get that back, we're going to be mad that we let it take us.
Okay. So obviously he says a lot of things in there that are like, oh, those are great statements. Yes, the Persian culture is amazing. It's one of the oldest cultures in the world. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh yeah, let those people be repressed. I'm mad they're not still being repressed. But this is how sophisticated the war machine and the ruling elites and the propaganda machine is. Okay. That was made for liberals to go, you know what? Sometimes we need war to free the women and the girls and the meow, meow. That's how they wrap it up. I watched Fox News, and Fox News is like, keep Americans safe from the evil terrorists. But what Van Jones is not saying, what the clowns on Fox News are not saying is nobody cares about freeing the Iranian people. If they get free, God, I hope so. Great. It's about their oil. It's about another distraction from the Epstein files. Prince Andrew's been arrested. Other European countries have been arresting people. We're bombing Iran. And why are we bombing Iran? Because of Israel. I'm sorry. Israel is funding this. Israel is pulling the strings. This is like, and the screaming, oh, you can't criticize Israel, it's anti-Semitism. Sorry, that doesn't work anymore. It does not work anymore. First of all, Palestinians are Semites. So you can't be anti-Semitic and in favor of them. They've bombed hospitals. We bombed part of this airstrike in Iran. We bombed a girls' school. Gee, that's not in, where is that? Where is that in Van Jones's, we need to set the women free? We just killed a bunch of Iranian girls. Was that good? Was that setting free this wonderful culture, bombing girls? The war machine and the ruling elites are so sophisticated at pulling on your heartstrings. That was a wonderful video showing Maz Jobrani. I know Maz. He's a great comedian. I know a lot of Persians. It is a wonderful culture. But this is not about freeing anybody, man. This is about oil and war. This is about, because of BRICS, everyone's getting off the petrodollar. So Van Jones, I guess, is in favor of this. You know who I agree with more? And I'm going to show you a video from Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I don't know, we're in topsy-turvy, upside-down land where she makes more sense. Van Jones is a corporate liberal Democrat. He has a 7 or 8 figure income from CNN, and his job is to say heartstringy liberal buzzword things to get liberals to go, yeah, war's okay. It's like liberals didn't care that Obama dropped more bombs than Bush. Oh, we care about the women. Why were we bombing them so much under the Obama administration? We care about the girls so much. Why didn't Epstein and all of his co-conspirators get prosecuted when Joe Biden was in office? If they care about the girls so much and freeing the girls. By the way, Epstein's pals also rape boys too, but you know, whatever. That's not woke enough to like stop boys from being raped. Well, boys, you know, the future's female, so who cares if some boys get raped? Even though it's 1 in 6, and that's the reported number. It's probably more like 1 in 3 or 1 in 2. And oh, by the way, 45% of men that are sexually abused, their perpetrators are women. But anyway, let's do it for the girls. Let's do it for the girls. Do it for the girls. So here's Marjorie Taylor Greene. And this is what I'm hearing a lot of Trump people say. We voted. We didn't vote for this. We did not vote for this.
Traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people, whom we serve as representatives here in Congress, demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files. But the real fight will happen after that.
If Van Jones cared about the women so much, he would have been screaming that Biden should have been doing more to prosecute. Biden did just a little bit. They arrested Maxwell. Oh, she had a trial. She's in a minimum security prison. She got moved to a minimum security prison while Biden was in office. Both parties are filthy, dirty. Round them up. So yeah, I agree more with Marjorie Taylor Greene than I do Van Jones. I'm so sick of wealthy liberals wagging their finger at me with their 7 and 8 figure salaries, advocating for war. Remember now, if you're a good liberal, war's okay when a Democrat does it. And a bunch of Democrats wanted this invasion of Iran, not for the women, not for the girls, for the oil, and to control the Strait of Hormuz, which is controlled by Iran. That's what this is about. I'm not saying the Islamic regime and the Khomeini government was a bunch of nice guys. No. But it's the same thing with Maduro. Oh, Maduro's bad. He's oppressing the Venezuelan people. The United States doesn't give a shit about Venezuelan people. They care about its oil. And they went after Maduro because they were giving, China gets a large portion of its oil from Venezuela. But what do I know? I was just predicting all of the stuff and calling out all of the Epstein stuff 7 years ago. What do I know? What do I know? Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. That's why I can't do these segments. It's too frustrating because nobody listens and nobody does anything. There's a handful of people watching. You guys listen. I've been censored. Like, this is why it's like, that's why I don't like doing these. It's not good for my mental health because Americans don't want to listen. They want to listen to Van Jones and Rachel Maddow. And then the dumb red staters want to listen to whatever, Sean Hanratty, that dipshit. See, I don't like, it's not good. My heart rate's up. It's just not good. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun. I appreciate everybody here. All right. My neighbor is just getting ready. So while that's happening, I'm going to play a video for you guys. Where is it? I'll play this little video for you while I go see where Darriane is. Wow. Here you go. This is a fun one. This is a fun one. Hey! Paul Gal 00, good to see you, shaving your knuckles for justice. And guys, go to GrahamElwood.com, do the GoFundMe. That I appreciate that too. I really any way you can support the show, I appreciate it. But it's you guys are the sweetest people in the world. You're good people. You're all good eggs.
Those Iranians will take over. Now they will take.
Where do you see this going? Is there an off-ramp for Iran?
I think what will happen is that even if the United States is able to kill illegally Iranian leaders, the next generation of Iranians, the Iranians that did not see American atrocities in Iran before 1979, some Iranians that did not understand why their parents and grandparents were anti-American, those Iranians will take over. Now they understand why American government is the imperialist, vicious government and a government that attacks other countries and kills little children. They understand they're fighting the Epstein class that either rape little girls or bomb little girls. This is the government that we are witnessing. They're going to fight back against that government, and they're going to ensure that the Islamic Republic of Iran will live many years after America destroys itself.
Hey guys, Darriane here. Oh my God, you guys are so amazing for showing up in my live stream. It's so great. Just like, I had a total girl day at the spa and got my hair done. And it's just like, it's doing something kind of exciting and I like it. And you guys are so amazing for showing up in this live chat. Oh my God, I like how Graham helps me he's all like fired up about all this stuff happening. And it's like, wow, it's so crazy. And everyone's like fighting. And I wish they just wouldn't, like, don't fight. Like, why does everyone have to fight and bomb stuff? Like, can't we just like, oh my God, couldn't we all just like, if everyone had boba, I don't think there'd be any more wars. Oh my God, do you guys love, I know I talk about it all the time. Oh my God. Like we were getting boba the other day and Chad was like, oh my God, honey, can we just get smoothies instead? And I was like, okay, but can we get boba in the smoothie? Like, oh my God, you know what I'm talking about? Like, how amazing is that? So it's like super cold, but then there's like boba. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not smoothie shaming you guys. I love smoothies, like I'm, a big heart for smoothie. But like, oh my God, smoothies are so like, they're super cold. And sometimes if I get done with like, I do like an aerobics class and I come out of that and I did cardio kickboxing, but it seems so angry and everyone's so mean, like fighting stuff. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And Chad was like, this is what, the military industrial complex does. And Chad, we had this whole talk. He just got back from his yurt journey and it was amazing. And he kind of really found himself. And he had these new crystals. And they were so amazing. I just love crystals. They're so great. Like, and I'm not saying crystals are better than essential oils, guys. We're totally essential oil positive. Like, oh my God, I love essential oils. They're so amazing. But I wanted to give you guys more. You guys have been asking like totally like more tips, like household tips. How can we use regular household products? So I just wanted to show, like, look at these like napkin things, right? And they're so amazing what you can do them for. You can like, just first of all, just use it like a regular napkin, like after you eat or whatever. Like, oh my God, I just had the best ramen. Do you guys like ramen? Oh my God, I love ramen. I love ramen and the little squiggly things. And this one had like eggs and it was kind of spicy, but just the right amount of spicy. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm not shaming too spicy, guys. We're totally spicy positive on this show. Like I love spicy, but it's just like, it was crazy. And then, you need dust. And, I don't want to be like weird or gross, whatever, but like my nose was totally like, oh my God, waterfall, waterfall. And I was like, so it was really cool to like use it twice. And I thought, these are amazing. These sort of like come in a little napkin thing like this, like a dispenser. And you can use them for anything, right? You can use a regular napkin. You can also use it like a tissue if you have a cold or whatever. We're totally not Kleenex shaming. Like Kleenexes are amazing and they're thin, but sometimes you need something a little like thicker, stronger. It's so amazing. And oh my God, Chad uses these. He had a hole in his yurt and like put a bunch of these in there and use like a tape thing or whatever. And like, oh my God, like it was amazing. Like these are super strong. Like get the thick like ones that are like, do that. That's just amazing. So like, and we're totally not cloth napkin shaming. If you're totally cloth napkin positive, like totally thoughts on cloths. And that's so important. So I really want to use, and you can use these for so many things. And also you can use these like a clean, you can put down some sort of cleaner thing or whatever, like a spray, one of those like, and then like, boom, boom. And it's totally like fun and amazing. And you can then just like put this away. And it's like, it's made from like trees or whatever. And that like those trees are good, right? Like we all like trees. And I know this is sort of a plastic container. Oh, I didn't think about that. That's really, plastic's not great, but I wouldn't be too mean because it's got to be wrapped in a thing like this. So buy them and then you can use them in all these different ways and totally like, you can even fold it in one of those like, what is that, origami or whatever that was called? You know what I mean? You can fold it like this and like, oh my God, this totally reminds me when Chad, he always makes paper airplanes. And he's always like, hey, babe, look at this paper airplane. And then he throws it and goes, oh my God, look at that. It was so amazing. It just flew in the screen. Like, you guys like air travel? Oh my God, I really want to go to Seoul, Korea. I heard it's so amazing. I love K-pop and I wanted to go there. Do you guys like K-pop? I love K-pop. Imagine like in Korea, like totally having boba and watching K-pop at the same time. Like I totally like, oh my God, my head would totally explode. It'd be so amazing. But we're not, you don't want to explode your head. Like if you're not that's cool. Like we want to keep our heads together, you guys. And I just think that everything that you guys are doing is so amazing. So thank you guys. Thoughts and napkins, total napkin positive, you guys. And, just find your napkin, find your spicy Chad, and then everything will be better. Oh my God, you guys. Thank you. Wait, do you guys have any questions? Oh my God, in the chat. I forgot to even ask anybody in the chat has a question. Like, this is crazy. Oh my God, Alex Levy, look at this. Let's do this. I learned how to click this button thing. Darriane and Shim Shai are hanging out with Graham today. Good start to my day. Bobas. Oh my God, Boba blessings to you, Alex Levy, 5391. I especially that number has some kind of really crazy significance, you know, like, remember that song that like older people listen to that's like 86539 or whatever? Is that what that's about? Do you like those telephone number songs or whatever? We're not Gen X shaming, guys. They're an amazing generation. They get kind of angry and they're a little weird. They're always like, everything's a conspiracy. But like, we're totally like, let them do them, and, you know, just stay kind of far away from Gen X sometimes because they're a little squirrely. They're wearing like a Star Wars shirt or something, and they're like, they have all these reference these old movies that I haven't never seen, but they're a little like, party. There's like, but it's like, okay, my God, you guys totally do you, like Gen X blessings. You guys are such a fun generation. They're super like kind of no nonsense. Oh my God, that generation is a little no nonsensey, but I love it. And really, total boba blessings for you, Alex Daslibi. And thank you so much for supporting our show. You guys are amazing. Oh my God. Special secret, you guys. Chad's here. Oh my God. But don't call him that anymore. That's right. He changed his name. We had a renaming ceremony in Mount Shasta, and it was like super strong and amazing that he changed his name, and it was like really powerful. So I'm going to let him introduce that because he has sort of a ceremonial thing that goes down with it. So you guys are awesome. Oh my God, Alex Teslibi, thank you so much. Hal Gal, oh my God, double zeros, like 2 hearts, double zeros. That's what, when I hear two, that's what I think. I'm like, oh my God, you're making a heart. Boom, you guys are amazing. All right, you guys, we'll be right back with more Shim Shai, but he changed it to Shai Shim. Like, but whatever. Oh my God, that's in my mouth. Oh, wrong eye. It's weird when you look in the camera. It's like a reverse mirror thing or whatever. Oh my God. He'll be right back, you guys. You guys are so great. Thank you. Hi, blessings and salutations, you guys. Thank you so much for acknowledging the existence of Darriane, who actually her real name is Sasha Bluebird. That's her holistic name that was given to her by a shaman in the region of Mount Shasta. And so I just wanted to announce I had a renaming ceremony. I'm rejecting the patriarchal colonizer name of Chad and acknowledge this forward to be Shai Shim. And I just feel like this is the harmonic convergence that we all need. And it's really important. I know there's some people in the chat. If you want to ask me any questions, I'm happy to heal whatever your journey essence is. And I just really feel like I'm in touch with my oneness on my grandfather's ranch. So it was amazing, just a holistic ceremony. I flew in by helicopter, but we really connected with the source and the eternal existence of everybody in their own existence and how it feels for the existence of their existing. And it really was the type of energy that we all can observe and feel, if you know what I mean. And there's a lot of conflict in the world right now, and the best way for us to get away from that is to, just get in your figurative space and essence and fly, and have your own helicopter the way I do, and then you can just sort of be, you can just sort of explore your own foregoing and bear witness to your own enlightenment as it transcends into the holistic sound bath of the expansion. So I don't know if anyone has any questions in the chat. Thank you, Anna Ringwald, for acknowledging that I look fabulous. And I think you look fabulous in your essence. I can sort of see it and feel it in the chat and how it kind of transcends, this sort of constraints of like, oh, I'm in this box, this like computer box, and I want to get out, but that's sort of, we can all put ourselves into a box, and what is fabulous, how can we exist as fabulous? Yeah. So that's what I think is, and if you want to sign up for my retreat where we unlock the wholeness and find the true essence of you, it's a 2-week-long retreat, and it's only $10,000, which most people can afford, I'm sure. And so that's what we're saying is its pureness. And you can get the VIP package for $25,000, where I make you a true necklace from sacred crystals. Yeah, so asking about a helicopter in the question. A lot of people say, oh, Shim, if you're really like, a hippie or whatever, like, why are you having a helicopter? I'm just like, well, I just let the divine energy bring me what's out there, and I just manifested it, and it happened. I mean, I manifested right around the same time my trust fund kicked in, but the point is I could totally explore who I am. And then we ride bareback horses through the mountain range. And then we get to the day spa that my aunt owns. And it's really a fantastic way for our own wholeness and finding togetherness with all of our journeys, collective journeys. I'll check one of the other chats too here. I want to thank everybody watching on all the different platforms. I know it's a kind of a constraining term. What platform are you on? And I don't want to pass any judgments, but I know this is how we are communicating. But once we lock in on our own crystals, we all have our own soul crystals, they can really explore the beams of truth that are pushed through. So if you understand that, then you'll really feel it. And that truly is what allows us to view the karmic light that dances through all of our souls and all of our expressions, and really want to unlock the feminine energy. The universe the planet needs it right now. There's a lot of over masculine energy, and we need to balance. There needs to be in nature, you always see a balance. You see it's kind of the balance that I feel. And again, for $10,000, you can do my retreat and open up your balance. And so it's all of us connecting in a universal scheme of oneness, of whole, of light, and exploring, as Moonbeam Bartholomew said in his recent post, the moonbeam walks through us so that we can be us. And that made a lot of sense to me, at least in this life. So I'm just coming off of a 143-day yurt journey. And so we're in a different sort of realm of expression. Yeah. So if you sort of join me, grab my hands in this digital world, and let's find our own togetherness in the digital hands that are us, for us. Oh, it brought a big smile of togetherness. Oh, another Alex Das Liebe. Oh, blessings, Alex. You really bring your own journey to this. My buddy at uni and I tried to learn not to let things take our peace from someone our age. They never were stressed. He just found his trust fund had manifested not long before we met him. Yeah, that's beautiful. You know, that's the oneness we're talking about, Alex Das Liebe. And Liebe, if I'm not mistaken, is German for love. So you're Alex the Love, 5391. And if you study numerology, you know the significance of that, which I'm sure you have. And, you know, a lot of people look down on the trust fund. The trust fund is really it's the universal flow, and you just need to unlock it. You just need to find that universal flow from your grandfather that was an oil baron and stole land, but then we can reconnect with it and figure out where it really works. And, you know, that's why I have an all-electric speedboat on our private lake, is so that I can just let people connect and be who they are, you know. And that's really amazing, you know. And I think that you and your buddy at uni, as you call it, interesting choice of words, my buddy at uni. And, you know, uni is university, which is a versity of unis, and comes from the word oneness, university. And I just want to ask you, Alex, you know, you can explore more, just buddy. It's okay for men to say, you know, I love you and your trust fund. You know, we have to not be afraid. We don't have to hide behind the shield of buddy. You know, everything is in combat. Everything is essence and oneness. And I think that's the true purpose of everything. So thank you, Alex. And I bless you and your buddy at uni. Do spiritual giants need humility? I think not, exactly. That's just fantastic, you know, and that's what we unlock in my seminar that's up in the mountains but very powerful indigenous land, the native peoples. You feel their essence in there. And it's powerful. So is the luxury spa that my parents own. There's a lot of powerful energy in there. And you get a discount spa package if you sign up for my retreat. So that's really the purity of unlocking who you are. And not being afraid of your masculine side and your feminine side. I think both those sides, I mean, the yin and the yang, that's the symbol of the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, the sun and the moon, the chakras and the crystals, working together, working with and against each other at the same time. But the against isn't a battle. It's a necessary force and reaction. To build strength, right? We have to push together. To push together the strength, right? So that's what we're talking about. And so I really just appreciate all of your questions and the essence of that, Any other questions? Having been in the yurt for 143 days, it's nice to be out reconnecting and be out sort of in this energy, in this space. But I feel like it's important for me to reconnect with my yurt. It was handmade, handmade yurt, the way they're doing in the ancient ways. And it cost me 16 grand, but it was worth it. So that's the importance of all of us. So I wish you heightened blessings in finding your own truth in whatever form that is. Thank you, Alex Das Levy. For really, that's great. Yeah, you should be getting a contact high. That's kind of how the energy transcendence, and I don't like to brag, but I can push energy through, and I have to kind of hold back because we don't want our corporate overlords to get threatened. But this is the kind of energy that you can unlock in my seminar. How to connect that. That's what you're feeling, Anna Ringwald. You're feeling the energy come through. Microphones and cameras are all just energy, connecting, flowing, reconnecting, plugging in. And that's what you're feeling. Might shock you or surprise you. And a lot of people feel that when they're in my presence. And I don't. It's not a brag. It's just that it is. It is just an energy that flows. So that's how we are together. And I want you to just acknowledge the beauty of that. So I'm going to continue in existence in a different sort of format. And I think that the comedian Graham gentleman, I think he has something to say. I hope he works through his anger. He seems really upset about things. But that's what the universe does. He needs to manifest a trust fund. Probably help a lot of his problems. Hey guys, I hope you had a nice time talking with Shai Shim, the artist formerly known as Chad. He's got some interesting things, and we appreciate him taking his time out here, and him and Darriane, coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Alex Levy, for supporting the show, and Holly and Alex, our moderators. It's really great. So I hope you guys had fun. And I'm going to be doing a stream like this at least once a week. I'm busy with some other stuff, like the Hollywood Asia Tonight late night talk show that we are going to shoot the pilot episode here in Bangkok. Go to grahamelwood.com. Throw a couple of bucks at the GoFundMe. We already got some investors involved, but every little donation helps, and it's going to help pay for the pilot and camera crew and lawyers and all that stuff that, got to drop contracts and everything. So you guys will be helping to contribute to this, and it's really cool. So thank you so much. And that's our show. Have a great day. Like, share, subscribe, and thank you, Alex. Says, love you, Graham. Shame you just missed Shim Shai and Darriane. I know they come by here, and it's like every time they come by, I always got to run errands, and they always want to come on. I'm just like, all right, guys, I'm doing laundry and a bunch of stuff, and as long as they seem pretty cool people, like they seem pretty harmless, might as well let them come on the live stream, I guess. But yeah, I keep missing them. I mean, I always every time they show up, I've always got something to do, and it's just kind of, I just let it go. I don't get too mad about it. Shim Shai's helped me sort of mellow out on that. I used to get so frustrated, but now he's going to help me, So go to grahamelwood.com right there. Support the GoFundMe. You guys are great. Thank you all so much. And we'll be doing government secrets this Wednesday for sure. So thanks, everybody. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Alex Daslibe, and everybody in the chat. You guys are fan. Thank you, everybody over on Rockfin. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Stay safe. Stack sats. And be good to your neighbor. Bye-bye. Shave your knuckles. Shave your knuckles. Shave your knuckles for justice.